In the Yoruba African mythology, we believe that there is a destiny for everybody. You cannot become a high net worth fellow if you are a chronic time waster.
I failed from nursery school to university.
I did.
I have to cry, and then he told me, no, it's okay that you cry, express the way you feel. After then you feel better, you're able to think clearly. And I'm like, oh wow. And
I was actually going to mention that
if parents are going to even teach their children empathy,
they should have it,
then they should act it, because it is what you act that these children would take from you. Definitely. Like there was a day my daughter didn't go to school and the teacher called in and I told her she wasn't feeling so well, and she said something, who is going to ask me today, how are you doing? You know, she go as much as asking people, how are you? You understand? So what you don't teach, what you don't practice, there's no way your children could do that. Most times when we are going out and there's space in the car and I didn't pick somebody, she would remind me, you are supposed to pick that person. And I'm like, the person already signal, she's not going our way. So she would always call my attention, even probably I'm on call. And she sees somebody by the roadside, she would remind me to pick somebody when we are going out. So it is what you practice that the children will actually.
I noticed that women, children learn faster by observation.
And
they learn faster by observation.
I would like to say this as a fact. Do not assume that your child doesn't see or know what you do. They never have that assumption. They see, they know,
observe,
they might not able to say back to you. They process it. I remember growing up, thinking back to how my parents were. I knew that somebody comes home at 4 a.m. in the morning and leaves at 7 a.m. That was my father. And I'll keep asking, why does he come and leave early? But nobody would tell me why. But I knew. And the things I used to tell my mom when that they did when we were little, so you saw those things, I knew them. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because the mind of a child is developed, they see, they know. So don't assume that they don't know or they don't see or they're not aware. They are really aware.
The way you know they know is when they come back to you maybe a week or two after everything has happened. And they'll come and
yesterday.
They'll come and read. No, my daughter was saying yesterday this morning.
Yesterday.
My nephew-in-law came around, a 3-year-old boy. So when he wanted to sleep, he came to me. I cried him on my chest. He slept off. So by morning, I was in the bathroom trying to have my bath and leave. And then he woke up and told my wife wanted to carry. He said, where's uncle? Where's uncle? Where's uncle? Like the person that can't sleep. So he was aware that I did that. And then throughout that day, we were best of friends, you know. And when it was even time for them to leave, he said, no, he told me bye daddy. He really wants to stay. And then I asked the mom that, how does he sleep? What do you do? He just go and sleep on the floor. They carry him, they just put him there. So the first time he had a connection with someone that put him on the bed till he slept, you know, if you're okay, there's somebody that could, you know. And the truth is, they are aware. Convert Daniel were singing songs before she slept, Auntie Rachel, all those are Auntie Rachel songs. And the truth is, you need to be aware that your children are very observant. They see things, and don't just take it for granted.
And they won't forget.
They won't forget.
They won't forget.
They will not forget.
So, I was just thinking that another skill that we need to teach our children is excellence. You know, as a boy that grew up in the church, one of the things that we used to pray about is the excellent spirit. You know, taking a cue from Daniel. The excellent spirit. I used to think that there was a spirit that if you pray well enough, it will descend on you, and you will become excellent. You know, I did that, but I failed so many exams. You know, despite that prayers and all of that. You know, so I was just wondering, what do you guys have to say about how do we teach our children excellence, and in what areas do we have to, you know, help them imbibe this excellent spirit?
Again, the first point of call is for the parent to have excellence habit. If you don't have it, they can't teach the children.
I realize that
for me, that's the foundation.
For several skills, emotional, psychological, mental, so on and so forth, it starts with the parents. So that's why we have without parents, there's no family in that sense, or guardians and everything. So it starts with parents being excellent. Time, you are a stickler to time. You are meant to be somewhere. Your children know that this
Uncle
is.
Tokes, which continent are you coming from? Are you an African? In Africa, we have African time.
No,
Time
the
is flexible
African
here.
time has to.
We are
has
always
to
late
die.
to meetings.
I realize
It has
that
to die.
Africa time has to die because
This thing is both ways. If you are a time stickler, you get your place early, and then you get there early. They are not starting on time.
it's better because it gives you it becomes who you are.
Yes.
And when it matters most, people will be able to count on you.
So my time is my own thought is
That's
that
no.
there should be a balance. If I'm early, you should be early, or there'll be trouble.
Okay, no, but we are talking about you becoming something that your children should become, and they are going to see that and know daddy will not be late for a program, or there is a particular place he's meant to be. Daddy is going to be there 30 minutes before time. For me, I realize that time being a stickler to time rubs off on your personality in terms of integrity. So when you are talking about somebody that has, you say, I can count on that person. I realize that it could make or mar your personal image. It's just a personal observation and everything. No. It's just, because we are talking about you being, okay, let me go to an area. You say you're born again. For example, how can I vouch for your salvation if at every point in time you are failing in sticking to a time frame? We say we are meant to be here. We are meant to have this meeting by so time. I think when one is failing, of course, you can't do that. You can't get it all the time. But you are failing, then you are able to drop a message that, please, this is the reason I am not able to make this time.
Of course.
Then people can say, no, I can count on that
Well,
person.
some people think they should know now. They should know that.
No. It's going to make a mess of the person's personal. And so children will be watching, and they know that the daddy is going to fail when it comes to that. For example, my mom is not a stickler type, so I learned the hard way.
I hope you
My friend,
my friend
who stayed in my house for a period,
okay,
and eventually got married in my house. That's in my house. He went to the registry, and when he was traveling to meet his wife in the UK, left from my house. So he came around. We were supposed to meet in my sister's place, and my mom said, "Don't worry, I'll drop you off there." But she had a stopover. I'm, Mom, are you sure? And if it was the error of my life. And that's how my mom started with it. At one time, I wanted to take a bus from that stopover. And they'll tell me, she said, don't worry, we'll be going now. But he couldn't wait because he had to be somewhere else. So by the time I'll get to my sister's place, he had taken his leave. And from that point, I just know, when my mom just said, and we are going, I'm finding my way. For example, even my wife knows that when it comes to that, man, I will leave you. I don't mind leaving the car and entering the public transport together. Yeah.
Do you know that it's actually easier for men to stick to time? As a single lady, I was a stickler for time. Let me just tell you the truth. Now that I have 2 kids, sticking to time, I try my best. I'll just tell you, I try my best because sometimes you can't predict what comes up. Just when you think you are almost ready for work and whatever, you are already at the door. Like you've calculated, okay, by the time I drive 20 minutes, I'll get to where I'm going and all. You've gotten into the car and you discover that your baby has put in the diaper. Of course, you are going back inside to change that diaper, and that will take you nothing less than 10 minutes. And a lot of eventualities. I mean,
there's a factoring. I think there should be a factoring of extra time. Like for example, there's a mapping. Okay. I know that I'm supposed to be somewhere at a particular time. Let's say 2 p.m. I know that the time it will take to get to leave my house to that venue is 30 minutes. Okay. I know that 30 minutes will not be the appropriate time to map. Okay. So I'm adding maybe an extra 20 so that there will be no excuses. Then the extras, okay.
Yeah. You will not win this argument this way. There is something that I want us to realize. There is a difference between when you don't care about something and when you are made to do something and when something is your value. There's a difference between the three. Let's look at the issue of time, management, keeping to time and all that. Some people, they don't care. They are when it comes to time, in terms of their mindset, their culture, time in life is easy. Don't make things too hard. That's possible.
That's a mindset.
We have another set. They find themselves in a system that regulates. Oh, you have to be here by this time. So they try their best possible to meet up. So there are times when maybe 40% of the time they are not able to do it. Now, this is different from when keeping to time is your own value system.
Core value.
When keeping to time is your core value, when they are talking about wasting people's time, the way, the attitude, your expression and everything, your countenance will change because the essence of your being is what they are touching when it comes to time. Others will not be able to understand this. So it doesn't matter whether you're a man or you're a woman. Even when you're a woman and you know that my 7 o'clock, I'm starting this thing at 7, I have to do it. You start preparing more than 24 hours before that time.
Emperor, let me add to that. Emperor, let me add to that.
Let's not argue about time. Let's not argue about time.
There's something that happened to me.
The kids are not left to you.
No. I'm a father. Sorry. I'm a father. I am a present father.
Hands-on.
I have the birth of my son.
I'm saying
I cook his meals.
Okay.
I cook at home. I wash the bathroom.
Okay,
I'm not a father that goes out and come out and don't do it. I do stuff.
Okay.
Even my wife knows that no. She can't. My wife won't be here and she will say something else. She won't. So now let me say this. There was something that happened to me. Emperor.
You won. We give it to you.
I have the contrary.
Wait. Hold on. No. There's something I want to say. Please, sir. You talked about value system. Wait. There's a particular group I was active in. Of course, he knows the group, PSF and all. And we had a particular leader. He was made the VP and all. And I had a meeting with him. We needed to see. So we scheduled, an appointment, and we had an appointment and a location. And I kept on saying, I won't waste your time. Because it was just on my lips. Because I really needed him, to come. So I won't waste your time. And when I got there, I said, I won't waste your time. Straight to the point of why we were there. And do you know the next thing he started saying? He said, while he was responding, he said, I am not to waste your time. Not to waste your time. It was like an immediate response in respect. Not to waste your time. Because I think it wasn't like I was saying that not to waste your time to get his attention. There are people that I realize, especially for high net worth individuals, if they don't like time wasting. So when there's a particular person, I want to get his attention.
High net worth in the first place.
To get his attention, sir, this is what I want. 2 minutes, I'm out of his face.
Uncle Tokes.
So I realize that anytime I present myself,
become high net worth if you are a chronic time waster. You cannot. It doesn't happen. It's not just that. You know in the Yoruba African mythology, we believe that there is a destiny for everybody. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. You cannot become a high net worth individual. You cannot become a high net worth fellow if you are a chronic time waster.
I agree.
Time, you know what I tell my kids? Ask my youngest daughters. My youngest kids are between 10 and 6. They will tell you, if you tell them, you just try. Tell them, except they don't want to talk to you. Tell them time is money. They will say, no, time is more than money. That's what I taught them. We had 1 hour of work when I was imbibing that into my girls before they become adults and they start making excuses. I told them time is more than money. That is why, see, I like the way you are handsome. I've been married for 14 years by the grace of God, and I want to tell you that for so many years, because I grew up in my father's house doing chores except cooking. So when I got married, I told my wife, come, cooking is not my thing. But you see, I can help you put boiled water and the other things. I will sweep. I can wash clothes, I can iron, and I can sweep. I did it for so many years. Until there came a time I told my wife, I said, see, this is what my 1 hour is worth.
So washing machine has to come in.
At that time, I
and
did
too
not.
many
It
other
was not
things,
just
right.
about washing clothes. There were other things. So I said, our kids are growing. They may not find a man that sweeps. You know, even my adoptive son, I sweep his room. You know,
Wow.
I did not adopt a son so that it becomes the houseboy in the house. I go into his room, I arrange his wardrobe and everything, you know, and at times he comes back from a church program and I will warn him, see the way I will still do it, you know, another time.
You are an example.
So I had to tell my wife that, number one, our kids will grow up, they will think it is the man that sweeps the house. Because they grow up in a house where daddy sweeps. So that they will not grow up with the wrong mindset. Let's get someone to handle this and this and this and that. Let me stop doing it for their sake. That's one. Second, time is worth more than money.
Yeah.
So the number of hours, do you know that when I'm sweeping a perimeter, I will tell you that this place to this place, this is 40 meters square, and that place is another 60 meters square.
Play. Oh, geez.
Yeah, but then I'll look at the time. I can tell you that in 30 minutes, this is the meter square that I will clean. Why? Because that time, I measure the time. I'm not just doing the task. So I told my wife, look at the time I invest in this. Look at what I can make happen with that time. I will use money to redeem this time so that I can invest the time into another. Because time is important. Nigerians will tell you there's African time. I lived in France, where Nigerians, by 4 a.m., they already queue where they are going to collect asylum seekers, where they are going to collect food, expired foods that Nigerians want to collect abroad. One day somebody wanted to do me good, you know, like me and say, oh, pastor, take, and she gave me a lot of food that she collected from that place because I will not go there. Do you know what happened? I checked everything. The chicken was expired. The oil was expired. The canned food, everything was expired. So it pained me that I had to carry this heavy load only to find out that everything was expired. But do you know that Nigerians that will be late to church, late to this, late to that, by 4 a.m. they are already on the queue. Because they believe they are going. So naturally, time is not of so much value to them. But the moment, anybody that wastes time, but the moment you see a value that you want to put,
then you pay attention.
You will now get serious with time. Yeah. We just need to start
serious with time based on priorities.
Can a lawyer who is a mother, who has a court case?
Oh, geez.
I don't know how it works.
Oh, geez.
Will that lawyer get late to the
court? Let me say this with respect to the honorable court.
Wait, this is a
no, okay, wait, because I don't know, my lords might listen to this podcast. But if the court is sitting by 9 a.m. or so soon thereafter, sometimes you are still there by 10 a.m. expecting my lord, with due respect, my lords.
Yes. So will you too? So will it be you that they are waiting for?
I'm trying to tell no.
Exactly.
Of course, if I have a matter, I know how to arrange myself on such days.
You know how to arrange yourself every day.
On such days.
You mentioned eventualities, but
sometimes
let people be able to vouch for like 80% that this person is not always like this.
No, it's not always so, definitely. I'm just talking about
so people should be able to say this person is not always.
Can we in a way bring a balance to this before we go to Holabisi? The three of us are men that are domesticated. We do house chores and do stuff in the house. But I know men that they don't lift a finger in the house. And they still want their wife to be early on time and be ready on time. That doesn't work that way.
Okay.
I'm going somewhere.
That's exactly
what you had your time to say.
That's why I was asking if he's handsome.
So I'm saying that for the sake of this podcast and the global impact that it will have, let's have a balance. And say, okay, in case you are that kind of man, you need to now sit up and do something in the house so that time you are vouching for or you are hoping that your wife would meet up can also meet up as well, and there's a balance, because at the end
my own thoughts
of the day.
Sorry, let me just interrupt you a little bit. I don't know this system, but I want to say something. If you see a tired woman that's been tired from yesterday, and you see her wake up again 4 a.m. to start a tired day, and she goes to bed maybe 11 p.m. 4 a.m. again she's up starting another tired day. You know, it takes a toll on the health of such
Mommies, we
people.
love you. Mommies, we appreciate
And
all you do.
I'm just
But let us use
And let
other
us
things.
look at the
Let us
downsides.
redeem the time.
No, let us look at the
anyway.
downside
I'm just
of-
talking about that, but that is not the
there's
topic
a
for
way
today.
you categorize them. You see high-end people, Abi.
High net worth.
High net worth people that they stick to time and stuff. If you look closely, there's something in their life that is lagging, and that we will probably not talk about here. You realize that they are probably scheduled all that they need to spend time with to other people to handle, and they are not there to handle them. Because when it comes to time,
money
when it
does
comes to
that
I'm
for
going
them.
somewhere. Wait, when it comes to time and life, you can't have it all balanced. Because I'm saying it because I have worked with
what we are talking about
Yeah.
now is having a mental frame,
Exactly.
a mindset that is stickler
That's
to
time
time,
conscious.
Exactly.
I get
Just-
you. I get
you
you.
can't get
There
it
are
all.
other circumstances.
Yes, but you can't get it
It's just better
100%.
It's not being time conscious, it's valuing time.
It's
Okay, valuing time.
Valuing time. See,
Absolutely.
Papi Sam, in my house, I have a dishwasher. I know that maybe for some people living in a particular, part of the country, some people might in this country, some people may have it. My dishwasher, unfortunately, is not the best dishwasher that I can get because the installer did not know anything about energy rating. But I tell my wife something, that I want my children. I have boys and girls. They can do this thing in time. I tell them they should use that time to do something else, something more meaningful, not doing
productive.
dishes. Doing dishes is not, somebody say, it's not a skill.
But Emperor, I'm surprised you are speaking this way.
Why?
Because I never really saw you this way.
Okay. So
I'm serious.
welcome
I'm
to
being
my
serious.
club. Time.
Yeah, I never saw because I was expecting you to say something like this. Like they would wash the dishes and all that.
No.
Not like it's wrong.
I have taught, they have all
They
learned.
know how to
Kudos
do it.
to my
Yeah.
wife. Our children, both boys and girls, my boys won't say yati. My boys can cook. All of them. I have about 7 or 8 of them. They can all cook. In our house, we don't do girls in the kitchen and all of that. As a matter of fact, especially whenever I'm not there, the boys are always around mommy. They want to gist with her. So they are with her in the kitchen, hands-on. But you see, some things that can be automated, like we use fair dishes in the morning, put it in the dishwasher. In the afternoon, just if we put it in the dishwasher. By at night when you have a lot, put everything and on the dishwasher. Go use your time
do
for something.
something
It
else
will
that's
wash it in
valuable.
3 hours, dry it, and you can remove it. And this is just less than some money that you will spend once, and it will save
That is
your
for
time.
people that can afford it.
No.
How about people that cannot afford
Your
it?
phone is more
it's still-
expensive than a dishwasher.
How can people that
Orgami.
cannot-
No, it's still-
It's not about
value.
expensive.
No, it's the
sir.
value we're
to
still
it.
talking
Sir,
about.
okay,
No.
but-
Papi Sam,
not.
it's still a value system. Now, there are several people that can't afford a dishwasher or a washing machine.
Yeah.
Of course.
They have to wash
Sorry,
every
hold on.
time.
Hold
It
on.
takes
No.
time.
They are going to
It's
wash their.
about
It's
time.
they are-
just about
Oh,
planning
jeez,
yourself.
Papi Sam.
Exactly.
You have dishwasher, you don't
You
have
don't have a
plan
washing
yourself.
machine.
Value your
Yes,
time.
value your time.
your
That's the
time.
concept.
Value
You
your
can always
time.
plan
it.
yourself.
Balance
I don't have a
Balance
dishwasher.
it.
Balance it.
And I wash plates.
Put a value on your time. Thank you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Time is life.
Time is life.
Put a value
You know,
on your time.
sometimes on Sundays, most of the time when we are going to church, like in the night, we would have planned the clothes we are wearing to church. I would have picked everybody's clothes. This is for
On
you.
this,
Of course.
My husband would have, Tim Washo, you've not picked for Lakumi's clothes, you've not picked this one's clothes, you've not picked that one's clothes. So I pick everything. And in the morning, if I wake up first, I wake him up. Oh yeah, bathe the children while I dress them. Once he send one to me, I dress that one. Then send another one to me, I dress. Then I can go to the bathroom. And before you know it, we are all ready together and we are going to
Fantastic.
church. Now, last week he wasn't around. I was to pick his clothes and go and give to him. So because of the consciousness of if he's around, he would always tell me to pick this in the evening. I was so tired. I got back from rehearsal. I was tired. But then I remember that if I did not pick those clothes,
It will
that means
affect
that it will affect the second day because
Yeah.
the children, before I wake them, I'm the only one at home before I wake them. That's like 2 jobs on me already because I'm the one that will bathe both of them. So I had to pick the clothes that night. I had to make sure I iron the clothes so that the next day I woke them up, bathed them.
Then you know that is you now. Now the children need to get to a certain age where they are not able to do those things for themselves. So I'm saying that to say that I was raised by my grandparents largely. My maternal grandparents.
Once the children are seeing you doing that, it will be part of them.
Because
they always remember.
Some children you have to teach them.
No,
some children just be looking up to
them. You will tell them anyway. By seeing or you have to teach them. But of course, consciously or unconsciously,
their mind.
They know on Saturdays we pick clothes and put it on the couch in the sitting room.
So because I was likely raised by my grandparents to buttress what I've said. So my grandpa would check with us every night if your school uniform is hanged, everything is set, because he's a soldier. My grandma is a prison warder, so the house is law and order. Law and order. Everything is there. So you wake up, set. By next morning, you wear the clothes. Till now, I would call my mom. Alpha, what are you wearing tomorrow? Pick it down. When we come morning. In fact, sometimes me, I used to bath at midnight. So when I just wake up,
I have somebody like that. I have somebody like that said,
if I'm leaving the house at 5 a.m.
I'm like,
yes, I'll bath. So
wake up,
sleep.
Yes,
I wake up,
brush
my teeth, clean my face. I'm good to go. So that I can be on time. Even on days that I need to get to the Highland, say 7 a.m. or at there about, just so that I meet up with the time and all of that. And it's something that children should also, we should deliberately teach them. Because if they didn't teach us that time. Yeah. Because my grandpa he has koboko. If he comes and he's not there, flog you. So it's one thing we just needed to do. And for me as a person, I don't like when people waste time or when they don't respect people's time. So I feel that time management has a lot to do with your respect.
Let's call it
and respect for other people.
Let's call it
the way we have identified communication.
Yes.
What else did we identify? We talked about communication. We talked about emotional and domestic. So now let's call this time management.
Yes, time management.
Let's come back to that issue of excellence.
Yes.
What is excellence? In my own definition, excellence is when they give you something to do, you execute it well.
I do it like 100%.
You do it 100%. That's what I meant by thank you for quantifying
but
it.
what if you put in so much
I wouldn't
effort?
want to say I wouldn't want to say 100%.
So much effort to get something done 100% and you couldn't. But then you still put in so much effort to do that.
So it is safe to say, if I jump far, I don't like. There's this phrase that they'll say sky is the limit. No, I say sky is the starting point. So I jump first. What comes to the worst? You land among the stars. There's star, there's cloud. So you need to gun for 100%. So at least at the end of the day, you have 85,
Please
90%.
don't misconstrue what I want to say.
Okay, yeah. Let me
the reason I said not 100% is you cannot be given everything in life and you get 100%. Because now I'm going somewhere. Because there are areas in your life that you have that one beyond and the one that you have full control over. You might find yourself in a space and you are given a role to play and you can't deliver because that's not your forte. No, I don't know if that's what you're talking about.
No, but they are related. But I want you to say what Pakistan was saying.
Okay.
Aiming for something and achieving it are two different things. So now, if you are the guy who strive for excellence, it doesn't mean you will score 100%. What you score is different. You put in your best. You know that I'm doing this. I'm going for it this time.
I think that relates to the goal setting skill. Sort of, you set a goal. I met some people while in the university. They would just be like, I'm not really here to... I just came to school. It does not matter if I have a pass, a third class, a 2-2, a 2-1 or anything. Or even
attendance.
What is most important is that I'm sure I am.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you see that while you are picking books, going to the library, trying to put things together. Okay, let me gain more understanding so that when I'm writing, I'll write to impress or whatever.
Yeah.
what they would just do, some of them would, I've listened to what the lecturer said in class, so why do I have to read
That's
again?
what they want to go and write.
And I've seen such behavior, and I know it's something that parents also need to tackle. Even children. Okay, let me save this for instance. When I was in the primary school, I didn't know that they used to read for exam. I must tell you the simple truth. I did not know.
No wonder you ended up a lawyer.
I did not know they used to read.
I'm sorry, forgive me. Now, what I mean is, I will tell you. I will tell you where I'm going. Of course, our producer MJ, she belongs to this world. I never read for any exam, and that's because it wasn't me. Not because I couldn't read, but because I was not found. But nobody found me. I was lost in life.
Okay.
I was lost in life. It took me to get to a point where I now realized I have to do this to
be able to
this.
So you did not know.
That is it. I also
Yeah.
had to get to that stage where I realized that wait,
This is
my mates are making they're making 80s, 90s in their exams. So what is wrong? Of course, I've not been reading, but I've been passing, but not sufficiently.
You are
so.
welcome in the
So,
name of the
I got
Lord.
to that level- I got to that level
Oduwayemi,
too.
you are welcome.
Do you know
So
I failed
welcome back from your
I
trip.
failed from nursery school to university.
I didn't even
Now
have to
check it
fail,
out. Check
but-
it out. Do you know that the first exam by the time I came to that consciousness, the truth is, it started when I gave my life to Christ.
Okay.
And I went for a training. Amazingly, that's why I'm into media. I went for a broadcast training. Okay. And at that point in time, I knew, Tokumbo, this is an opportunity you mustn't miss. And do you know that I put my all into it? First of all, I wake up around, is it 4:35? So that I can, because I had to beat traffic from where I was staying to GRA Ikeja. I had to beat traffic, and do you know that I was going every day? One of the first persons to get to class, then one of the last persons to leave, because we got to a part where you call transcription, knowing how a word is pronounced without the assistance of anybody. I realized I was having issues. I had to stay back after school to practice, because I knew, look, Tokumo, if you miss this one, you miss it. And that's why, look at me, I'm on a podcast right now. That's the broadcast training I went for. I'm talking about 18 years ago. And I came out in flying colors. The first time in my life, I by myself will read.
How did it feel?
It felt great. But now, let me say this. If you had put me in another sphere, maybe a chemistry-based sphere, a mathematical-based sphere, I can assure you, I'll fail.
Okay, so
I'll fail.
Uncle Tooks, I like to tell my own story too. And I want to say that if you put me
You
anywhere,
okay.
I will excel. And how did I know? I know I'm not a very handy guy. I know there are many things I try to do with my hand and I scatter everything. But I still have that faith that I will excel, because excellence is in the mind. It's not about you being a genius or anything. I was just a bloody village boy. Now, just like you, I failed at the beginning. I did not even understand. I did not know what I was doing wrong. I like the way in my family, there was a gift for any child that performed well in his studies and all that. But then I wasn't performing well. I wasn't doing well, and I did not know what to do differently. And anytime I read anything, I will forget instantly, So there was a time when we were 39 in class. And myself and one beautiful girl, I don't know where she is now, Bisola. Bisola the two of us will we take the 38th position together, So there is no, we were 39 in class. So I was perpetually the dull one. I never got any gift from my parents, Now, in fact, I wrongly assumed that I cannot, this academics thing is not.
I thought I was a dollar.
I found my what's it called? I thought I found my calling in music, that I would sing and all of that. At least that one, I didn't have to read to do it, and I was able to do it naturally. Okay, so to get into GSS1, I saw the answer, the question paper and the answer the night before the exam. So otherwise, I would have failed common entrance. To get from GSS 3 to SS1, every night before the exam, my father had money. and the people that he was paying, they were doing extra.
Emperor, you need to restitute.
Common entrance.
That's the excellent thing to do.
You kidding me?
We must pursue excellence, I beg. Where's the result?
Ladies and gentlemen, wait, just calm down.
Okay.
Just calm. You know.
We have to bring this to a close, but we're listening
GSS3
to
to
right.
SS1. I saw every exam before and the answer before the exam. That was why I passed, and that was why I could land in science class. Now they put me in science class, life continues from there. But something happened. The lion within me woke up.
Whoa, but you said you are not a lion.
No. I don't go about roaring all over the place. But the time came, like you said, that you were not found. Someone found me. Someone for the first time in my life told me, read ahead of time. So it wasn't saying read before the exams. It was like, I want to teach you on Sunday after church. I want to teach you on Thursday after church. Read before you come to me. Don't just sit down there and wait for me to teach you everything. Read, and all your questions, bring them to me. So I was reading because of him. I was reading so I could have all my questions to ask him. And then it became beautiful when I started scoring well in my subjects, only to be awarded as the best student in physics, best graduating student in the university, and I have some first-class degrees.
That's why at the head of the family.
But you know what? When that time came, I realized that there was something called excellence, and I also knew that I had to work to achieve it. It is not given. It is not a spirit that descends on me. It is something that, the great
You
someone...
put in the work.
You have to put in the work. And when you put in the work... So excellence is a mindset. So parents should teach children, but if you were not taught, you can teach yourself. You can. It's not late to learn it. So even I'm not the media expert like you, Uncle Tokes, but I believe that if you put me in that space, I'm not competing with you, but I will learn and I will deliver. How did I know? It's in my head. I don't know it today. But because I just realized that there's nothing that human beings cannot achieve.
No, there is absolutely nothing that humans cannot be achieved. But what I was trying to say is that know your place and thrive there in your place. Because
the first thing is that know in all your virtues, add excellence to it.
Yes.
That excellence is not only your career. It could be that Uncle Tokes, has given me an assignment. And this assignment, because I'm an excellent guy, I have to... today, time T equals 0.
As we bring this to a close, Emperor, I have to interrupt you.
Yes.
With the sense, to say this, that excellence could also mean saying no to certain things you'll not deliver on.
Yes, it could be.
I won't deliver on this. I'm going to mess it up.
But
I'm going to fail for certain reasons.
It's not enough to say no for certain reasons. Excellence goes one step beyond that in my own dictionary. That one step is that Oluwayemisi has given me a task. I say, I cannot deliver this. I'm saying no. But Oluwayemisi, we are not just going to let that task go that way. We are going to find an alternative together so that task will be delivered. It may not be me, it may be Papi Sam, but we make it happen. So I become dependent.
Emperor, I have a task for you.
Sir, building on that, we can successfully say that if you put your heart to a thing, you will do it.
Yes.
So see, the way the mind works, it is only when you shift your mind to a thing that you'll be able to do it. If you never shift your mind to it, if your mind was ever cultured to do that thing, you wouldn't be able to achieve it.
That is it.
So in his own regard, his mind was probably never cultured to certain things, and then you will never look at it. That's why I'll keep saying this example. Those kids that they abduct at between a 0 and 3, and they take them somewhere and they train them to become assassins and stuff, it's because they knew that that's the best time to make them what they want, not what the children would want to be. Not what the parents of the children want them to be. The abductors, they know this is what they want. They would abduct these children and make them into whatever they want. And you now realize that along the line, the children will not start connecting with feelings, emotions, small. They will not realize they don't want to do this. Some of them will run away and start a new life and probably live the life they want to live. So if the mind is properly attuned, sir. But if not,
thank
so
you,
that's the
thank
point.
you,
The mind
thank
is shown
you.
now.
Wow, a whole lot said, a whole lot more to be shared that time wouldn't permit us to, because we are trying to manage time like we discussed. Of course, this is still the Happy Family Podcast, and we would love to say a big thank you for being a part of this podcast. I want to believe that you've learned a lot, and most importantly, that you get to apply what you've learned. Yes, please connect with us on our social media platforms. Like, share, comment on our YouTube channel, subscribe, and also click on the notification bell so you can be notified anytime we have, newer content. A big thank you to this amazing family. Man, we had our spat, we had our fight. But you know how families are now. They will always fight and make up. But it's always great. And it's always great having you guys, aboard. Happy people.
Happy family.
But before I say bye to the audience, we still have our battle, our food battle. You want to mess around with me, right? God bless you. Have a wonderful time. Enjoy.
All right.